Assembly, and about 139 male MPs, and 92 female MPs, and a few support staffs from the Secretariat. So far, at the center, we have close to 300 people. Issues on the agenda rotate around political governance, orientation in leadership for quality national service. Mainly, they're going to be taken through the etiquette of the leadership, the purpose of leadership, how leaders can cause transformation of society, how they can pick from the manifesto of the party and the ministerial policy statements and all that document that government and the policies of government, how they can use those policies to influence social changes in their areas of representation. As to whether there will be a possibility of discussing the parliamentary speakership race, NRM's Deputy Secretary General, Richard Todwong, has this to say. No, it's not anything on our agenda. We don't even expect that it will be discussed because this is not at the moment the right forum. One, that issue has to be discussed when they are already sworn in. These are not yet sworn in, so they are not the members of parliament. And you cannot start discussing the issue of the speaker to people who have not been sworn in as members of parliament. That will be an illegality. As earlier communicated at Kololo Airstrip on Wednesday, Todwong emphasizes safety as the main reason for denying breastfeeding mothers access. So we thought it wise that we should maintain and restrict ourselves to those who do not have babies or breastfeeding. The retreat for newly elected MPs of the NRM is meant to last 3 weeks. Party chairman, also Uganda's president, Yoweri Museveni, is expected to officiate at the opening on Thursday, 15th April 2021. Henry Okurut, UBC.
And Kwanzi retreat, highly anticipated. We can't wait to find out what is discussed over there. In another development, Electoral Commission has vowed to take action against its officers found guilty of altering results during the 2021 general elections. Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama said this while appearing before the Human Rights Committee of Parliament. Now, reporter Banajiga filed this report.
The Human Rights Committee of Parliament has since last month been engaging political actors, including presidential candidates, trying to probe the acts of violence in the just concluded 2021 general elections. This Friday, the committee interfaced with the election organizing body, the Electoral Commission, as one of the key actors in the 2021 electioneering process. The committee, led by its Vice Chair and Bugiri-woman Member of Parliament, Agnes Takawe-Julie, informed the Electoral Commission team, led by Justice Simon Byabakama, that it has received several reports implicating the Commission of altering election results at different polling stations.
Waiswa Masudi, an election officer who was transferred to Malongo sub-county and was pointed out as one who was influencing the presiding officers. And there were reports of ballot stuffing in Namodi and Namon parishes.
Byabakama said this is a serious offense that will be dealt with.
Might have altered results. Now that is a very serious matter. And I can assure you, the Commission is going to look into those claims. Any presiding officer who is found to have altered the results is going to be dealt with decisively in accordance with the law. And I've promised Parliament we shall tell them the action we have taken against such people.
The Electoral Commission chairman admitted that missing names on the register was among their challenges, blaming it on the public for not adhering to the guidelines.
But in 2021, you are not on the register. You raise a complaint and the Commission would attend to that provided you got registered as a voter. But what would happen, many people don't do this. And when it comes to polling day, that's when they go and discover their names are not on the register. And they start raising complaints. And yet, sufficient time was put in place to allow every citizen who is a registered voter to go and establish whether he or she is on a register and at which polling station.
Despite the challenges, Byabakama told the committee that elections at all levels were free and fair, despite the petitions in courts of law.
I dare say that we were able to do a credible exercise, albeit that there are 94 petitions, but those ones have to be there. For instance, if someone is challenging the victory of X on account of lack of academic qualifications, does it mean the commission did not act within the law? It is because the other person chose to come without adequate academic qualifications.
The Human Rights Committee of Parliament continues to engage other stakeholders on acts of human rights violations during the 2021 elections. Bernard Higa, UBC News, Parliament.
In another turn of events, fire has gutted Madivani Business Park, where property worth millions has been destroyed. Now, employees, with the help of locals, however, managed to save some items from burning in the building. Now, as Ivan Carr reports, eyewitnesses allege that an electrical short circuit caused the fire.
The skies in Ugolobi are dark, with smoke rising from a yet-to-be-identified structure. On reaching the scene, police officers are up and about, responding to a flame that has gutted Madivani Business Park.
There are about 4, but the fire is too much and the other places are closed that the big trucks cannot cross, confirmed.
The fire is believed to have started at around 11 a.m. Eyewitnesses allege that the cause of the fire might be electricity. The nearby water hydrant within the premises is helpful to consistently help firefighters to put out the fire.
So recognized from this when it has already reached our company. We have not said anything.
The documents all have moved them from the office? Not all.
As the collective effort to put out the fire gains momentum, the strong winds caused the flame to increase, thereby leading to part of the building to collapse. Attempts to open and save some properties are useless, as some doors are locked from inside, where fire has already spread.
No minute, no hour, no second. So you try to help us, we are suffering now. Even if you can employ one to come and help us, because our property is dying out.
To the courageous, nothing can stop them from saving some property.
The fire is really too much, and ladies and gentlemen around this place are trying to save at least what is remaining where fire has not yet gutted. Among the things they are trying to save are the woofers, the television sets, and quite a number of other electronic gadgets.
I requested that let these people come in and begin removing the flammable materials from the stores so that we can reduce on the fire. Unfortunately, they had refused, not until I used the force to request the people to begin removing the items.
Those not affected by the fire, but on the same building, managed to retrieve their property to safe places, while a company dealing in Vaseline is a lucky one, since most of its items are retrieved by locals. The affected companies include Mytech, Growwell Uganda Limited, and Crop Care. Goods worth millions have been destroyed. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Ibugolobi.
Very, very, very unfortunate turn of events. We do pray that an assessment is made, or perhaps an intervention is made. In another development, government of Uganda has reaffirmed its commitment to increase its financial funding to the national broadcaster, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. This reaffirmation was made by the State Minister for ICT, Peter Ogwang, who was on a site tour for the UBC transmission centers in Uganda. Now, our reporter, Robert Onyango, has more details on this report.
In a parliamentary session of Thursday, 8th April 2021, members raised the different concerns over transmission quality and location of UBC sister media houses.
Because they are taxpayers, they belong to Uganda.
This has prompted the State Minister for ICT, Peter Ogwang, to inspect the transmission sites for UBC, starting with the Kampala metropolitan area.
Yesterday I was in Parliament. There was a quest for us decentralizing some of these radio stations across the rest of the region. But we shall be able to plan to decentralize, but we must plan to invest, because you can't decentralize when you have no money even to run those stations. For instance, you can look at the infrastructure we're having. It is all dilapidating. So that means that we must first put the infrastructure right, get better equipment, then decentralize it when we know that it's up to date.
The 12 sites included that of Naguru, Kololo and Bugolobi, and rocketing UBC funding, according to the minister, must be made key.
As ministers of the sector, we really want to appeal, first of all, to colleagues at cabinet level, number two, to parliament, that we risk losing, like now the technology which is here. It has handled its lifespan, which was about 10 years. Now what is needed is a new technology, which needs an investment of about $28 million.
Minister Ogwang was accompanied by top technocrats. Among them was the managing director, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, Winston Agaba.
We are much more into looking at how can we inform the citizenry about what they ought to know and what they have to know, by giving them the right information. This can only be done by investing, and we are very optimistic that government is keenly looking at this. That's why you see the State Minister has been here. The Minister herself has toured the countryside looking at our sites, and we believe members of Parliament have also been on these tours. We are optimistic that the time is now to invest in communication, to make sure that we have an informed population that will eradicate ourselves out of poverty, disease, and all these ignorance that borders on not having the right information.
This is Kololo Station, where the national broadcaster, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, is stationed to distribute signals for radios and televisions across the country.
On NBS and the UBC, where is the problem? Look at the colors, the clarity. Why is the NTV, NBS much more sharper than UBC?
The continued encroachment and trespass on UBC land remains a major threat to the institution's assets. The visiting team took note of it.
But I want to sound a strong warning to the people who want to attempt to grab part of property, part of land of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, this from here and the rest of the country, that finally, if you've been doing that, we are coming in full force. We shall have to get you out.
In the interest of all Ugandans, as UBC, we hold the land that has been vested to UBC in the interest of all of us as Ugandans, and we shall make sure that the right ownership is ascertained not only just by court, but by the prevailing circumstances on the ground.
With many outdated equipment which needs reinstallation and servicing, a quick intervention is needed if the transmission centers are to continue running uninterrupted. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
Now, the Uganda Law Society has threatened to support the voices of those vowing to challenge the recently proposed taxes in the ongoing budgeting process. The president of the Uganda Law Society, Fiona Nabasa, says that this will worsen the already fragile economic conditions Ugandans are going through if the movers and initiators of the proposed tax reforms do not think otherwise. Details in this report.
Quarterly Law Report for 2020.
Both the Uganda Law Society Quarterly Rule of Law Report
And the Uganda Law Society Elections Observation Report of 2021 revealed that the pre-elections period was marred with acts of human rights violation that allegedly spilled over to the post-election period. Some of the highlights supporting these findings include the cases of brutality meted at media professionals, internet shutdown, and the infamous unlawful arrests, illegal detentions and disappearances during and after elections.
The election day itself, according to our observers, did not have too much drama, but we saw things, especially after when we were able to get information with the internet coming back and people having access. We were able to see that there were a lot of arrests on that day, there were a lot of things that happened on that day, and we think that this needs to end. We need to have the electoral reforms that were provided and recommended by court in 2016.
To this, some of the legal minds that witnessed the launch of the report condemned cases of human rights violation before suggesting a couple of recommendations.
The torture law also puts this issue that whoever tortures can be held personally liable. If you are going to do public interest litigation, can we also do this and identify some of the people who carried out the torture?
But we would also like to continue dialogue with the security forces, because dealing with these issues of disappearances is a symptom. There's a bigger problem. So we are going to have a training of trainers for the military officers that will teach them about human rights, about due process, because now they're getting involved in the arrest of civilians. And there's a process for that they might not be trained in.
During the same event, members of the Uganda Law Society challenged the government on the proposed new taxes, especially those targeting the ICT sector, exports and rental tax. According to Fiona Nabasa-Wall, this will further cripple the already fragile economy. Fiona says government should scale down on its public expenditure and allow the private sector to recover from the harsh effects of the COVID-19 lockdown that brought almost every business to a halt.
So we feel that in the light of Vision 2040, in the light of ICT development, I think these taxes are going to set us back. Also, when we are constrained as a nation, the issue is not to increase taxes. The issue should be to reduce government spending in certain areas that do not need to be spent in. We are going to look closely at the budget.
The launch of the Uganda Law Society Elections Observation Report of 2021 comes at a time when the Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights is investigating the conduct of the 2021 general elections. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
In another development, the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council has called on the Muslim community to be keen on the evening of the 11th of Sunday to watch out for the sight of the moon in preparation for the fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. The second Deputy Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Ali Muhammad Waiswa, while addressing the media, urged to the relevant authorities to expedite the process of revising curfew hours to avoid inconveniences in performing Salat Tarawih.
I would like to advise the entire Muslim community in Uganda to watch out for the moon sight on Sunday evening, which is the 11th of April 2021, because this will be the 29th evening for the month of Shaban, the year 1442 Al-Hijri. Should the moon be sighted in that evening of 11th April 2021, Ramadan will commence on Monday, the 12th of April 2021. Failure to sight the moon on the evening of the 11th April 2021 will automatically mean that Ramadan will begin on Tuesday, 13th April 2021. Whoever will cite the moon or be in possession of information, reliable information on the above issue is hereby requested to pass over the information to the officials of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and I appeal to you to first strictly abiding by the teachings of Islam and the Islamic Sharia.
Well, the UBC News Tonight shall now take a short break and be back with more news, so stay tuned.
No one should stop you from finishing what's yours. That's why MTN gives you data bundles that don't expire. Load MTN Freedom Bundles using My MTN app and enjoy the freedom to finish your data bundles. MTN.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. Tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
That's their way of stopping HIV. What about you?
Fellow Ugandans, you know that the current COVID-19 period is a trying time in our lives. However, we still have another threat that has been with us for a long time, and it is called neglected tropical diseases, also known as NTDs. NTDs include bilharzia and worms that cause swollen stomachs. Trachoma causes blindness, and elephantiasis causes the swelling of legs. These diseases are affecting millions globally, and yet they can be prevented by regular hand washing with soap and clean running water, regular washing of the face with a soap and clean running water, keeping dirty hands away from your eyes, always using pit latrines, and discouraging open defecation in your community to avoid flies that carry germs, reporting to the health facility early when feeling unwell. Remember to stay safe and protect yourself. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from a SANE project.
I'm so happy.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Introducing Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School, located in Chebando, Chisalusalu, along Bukoto Roundabout, 2 kilometers from Kalere at the Northern Bypass on your way to Chisasi. This is a world-class standard school with the most qualified teachers that will turn your child into a world changer. We have a fully stocked library, a balanced diet for the children, a calm environment suitable for learning, and pocket-friendly school fees. Registration for P1 to P6 is ongoing, and second term is starting on 6th April 2021. Call us on 0774 950 277 or 0705 861 262 for more information. Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
I'm so happy.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. It's now time for the business news. Now, government is to consider ensuring all its property and also embrace other innovative policies available on the market. Responding to the call for government to lead in promoting insurance, Matia Kasaija, the finance minister, concurred that the status quo has to change for the good of the government, the economy, and the society at large. More details in this report.
The insurance sector players in Uganda are not relenting in their effort to pressurize government to take the lead by insuring its workers and assets. Some of the obligations by law, like the Workers' Compensation Act, mandate every employer, including government, to insure its employees when they are on duty.
We are telling the other citizens to insure their own properties and their own lives, but the government is not insuring our properties and the lives of the people who work in those places or who travel in those vehicles. Don't you see there is a contradiction?
The Chief Executive Officer, Insurance Regulatory Authority, elaborated to the Minister of Finance on the consequences of some insurable risks to the government coffers.
You rightly put it, when a building is brought down by fire, it should have been compensated by insurance. But now, government goes back, picks money from the consolidated fund to put this facility back. And you realize that the money which would have been used for insurance would have been far less.
This was at the inauguration ceremony of the inaugural board of the Insurance Training College. The 7-member board, whose mandate is to enhance sector professionalism and penetration, is chaired by Ronald Zake, the director, A+ Insurance.
But you as a board, first of all, I want you to sell the institution itself. Yes, you really must sell it, both locally here and outside the Uganda.
We are looking at making our college a premier college in the region, not just in Uganda. And that is what we are pursuing currently. And when you hear the minister's words, they re-echo what we are actually pursuing in our strategic plan.
The diverse board representing different sectors of the economy comes at a time of improved awareness and uptake of insurance, increased innovations and job opportunities in the entire value chain. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
Well, when I hear Mr. Kadunabi talking about a fire burning down a building, it gets me to think about the Madivani Business Park also burning. Which gets me to think, which came first? Did he think about it and then maybe something happened on the other side? We do not know. Otherwise, join us later at 10 o'clock for a lengthier bulletin. My name is Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mogalu Muhammad. In sign language, thank you for joining us and see you at 10.
This weekend on UBC.
Hi guys, I'm in the big kitchen and guess what? I am joined by Emmanuel Subuga, Mwami Subuga. Mwami Subuga, how are you?
I'm okay, madam, how are you?
Oli Muganda.
Yeah, I'm Muganda.
Nsubuga bedira ki?
Bedira mamba.
Bedira mamba. Osobola okutambulira mu Gabaganda. Tugende soko ntambulire, soko ntambulire. Soko ntambulire mu.
Bedira mamba. Gamanyira nze Nsubuga Kiwewe Emmanuel. Nsubuga ya mzee na Kiwewe ye yange nze Kiwewe Emmanuel. Bedira mamba akabiro imamba omuziro gwange. Yeah, 4 minutes will be enough for us so that they can get ready.
Yay!
The Big Kitchen. Tonight on UBC.
When did you get to know Cyprian Kizito Lwanga, the person?
In major seminary. I was writing some little research. There was a little map I wanted to draw. I asked people